heard the zombies and I got really scared. Clear path down to the... God it.
What you just saw was the end of one of my several attempts at trying to beat Hardcore Minecraft. I've been seeing a lot of these hardcore challenges here on YouTube, and I thought, why don't I give it a shot? But before I had even tried my first attempt, I had already decided the game's just too easy. So I developed a mod pack with the intention to make Hardcore Minecraft even harder. And, well,
This is...
you could say the mod pack's a little bit more challenging.
No! No! Oh, you're kidding me! I'm trapped. Oh my god!
Whoa, whoa!
What am I doing? Oh, what am I... Alright. Oh! Why did I think that was gonna work? It's over. No! No! It was so beautiful. I had so many plans.
I didn't want the mod pack to stray too far away from the vanilla experience, so it just adds on to the existing mechanics to make them a little bit more interesting and have more depth. For example, food. You can't just eat steak every day for every meal. You gotta eat all the food groups. You gotta have fruits and veggies and proteins. And if you ever lack in any of those, then you're gonna start to lose your hearts.
Let's eat more protein.
And also growing the food, you have to do it at the right time of year, because your carrots aren't going to grow in the winter, your potatoes aren't going to grow in the summer. And it's also super dark in the game at night underground. So you pretty much have to use torches. And the torches aren't that good, because they go out after a while and you have to relight them. And the mobs in the game, if they bite you or they shoot you, you're going to start bleeding. And fighting the mobs, you gotta like a swing animation now, so you gotta time your left mouse clicks instead of just spamming. And also, your shield is not going to make you invincible anymore.
What the heck?
So you got to time both your shields and your sword. And basically, the gist of it is everything is harder.
What do we do?
So what this video is my best run to date. I survived the entire first season of spring and defeated a horde of undead abominations in my mod pack, Harder Than Hardcore.
Hello.
Alright, day one. That means you gotta go punch trees. Well, the first thing you might notice is that punching trees is a little bit simpler. I'm not gonna use the word easy, because you know, this is hard. But tree chopping in vanilla is just kind of annoying, and this is a little bit more convenient. And the game's already so hard anyway, you do really want to spend like 20 minutes chopping trees every day. No, you don't. So you're gonna let this one slide, okay? And then once you've punched down all of the wood, you gotta pick up each individual piece by right-clicking on it, because that's engaging gameplay. You can also just press shift and it'll pick it up all at the same time, so don't worry. Then you make yourself a wooden pickaxe and you go mining, get some coal and stone. And then I made myself some stone tools, and then I grabbed a couple of these little mini melons, and then I took my leave. You gotta find a good spot to settle. And I wasn't really a big fan of this place, so I was going to go travel and try to find a good spot. Luckily for me, I found some onions on the way to snack on, and also there's just a ruined portal in front of me, which is pretty sweet, so I went and looted some of the cool stuff in there. Got some armor, which is super important, because the more armor you have on, the less likely it is for you to start bleeding from an attack. So I was pretty hyped about that one. So I wandered into the forest looking for gravel, because you gotta get flint early on for crafting some of the early game stuff. Also, there's an allay here. I don't remember when I found the allay, but he's here, I guess. Well, the next portion of the journey was me in the jungle, where I got some melons, some bamboo.
Shut up. Freaking kookaburras. Driving me kookaburra.
A little bit more coal, and then the sun started going down already. So I found myself in a little icy cave to spend the night. And of course, it being a dark cave, it's going to be full of monsters, so I did spend a good portion of the night looking around the cave, fighting monsters.
Why did you take 5 hits?
Getting even more coal. I crafted myself up a cutting board and sliced up some of the mini melons to make some melon slices. And also, you can chop up cobblestone with a knife, shave them down into bricks to make the brick blocks, which you'll need to make a furnace. Because, you know, I have to make that even more complicated.
Oh, but I can't build it because I don't have...
And before you know it, the sun's coming up already, and it's time to continue the journey. So nowhere in specificity. Nowhere in specificity. Nowhere. So I left the cave, and then I went back past the portal that I had already looted. And then I leapt into the ocean to get clay. The clay was for making a furnace. And kelp. Kelp was for eating, because it gives you good nutrients. So I got up out of the water, and I kind of walked along a little bit.
Horse.
Until I got to a forest where I found something.
Oh. Villager camp. Doesn't seem like it. No, it definitely is. Whoa! Hi. Whoa.
I didn't notice the villager that was chained up in the back. He doesn't get saved, I'm sorry. I wasn't really excited about the emeralds. It was more about the wheat. Because you can't grow wheat until the summer. So it's good to get some early wheat. Maybe get some animals started up early. Pretty good.
Stealing is great. Really remember to steal. Children. Stealing is cool and funny. You should do it more.
So I went up to the top of this mountain to look around and didn't really see anything. So I went back down into the little cave that I got my first coal from, and then I decided I was making a furnace. So I made the furnace, and then I made a shield because I wanted to go explore the cave, and shields are good for that. And then tragedy struck.
What? Oh man. Well, nice while it lasted, I guess.
Despite the sudden onset of loneliness after such a horrific loss, I continued my exploration in search of iron. Because that shit's good. Well, I didn't really find anything in the cave, so I just kind of went up back to my furnace and crafting table setup and just barricaded myself in there and sorted through my stuff.
So I guess I'll pack up and bring everything.
And then when the sun came up, I headed out once more.
Okay, let's go. Oh, because that's what I wanted. Zombies and skeletons during the day.
So I just kind of walked in the rain for a bit. Picked up some carrots.
Ooh, carrot. Oh, more carrots. This is good. This is good for me.
And then I crested a hill and I found a not bad spot.
the reveal of this little island here. This looks like Hardcore Island, let me tell you. This is where it's gonna happen. It's gonna be the island that we live on and defeat the Ender Dragon.
Spoilers, it's not. I look around it, and it looks like the entire cave system underneath the island is filled with water. And I just don't want to deal with that, so I just kept moving.
See, it's water in the caves. I don't like it. Okay, maybe not. This is probably not the right island. Fortunately, we're gonna have to keep looking.
So I kept walking in the forest, and then I got to a river. And then when I hit the river, I made a boat. And in the boat, I put a chest. And then I put my stuff in the chest, and then I put my butt in the boat, and then I went down the river in the chest boat.
Snow on the water. Fire in the sky.
At some point, I decided I didn't want to sail anymore, so I just got out and dug a little hole where I cooped up for the night. I lit myself a campfire and just started digging.
There's water in and under this one too. There's water here. There's water everywhere. It's too wet. It's too wet. This world. There's too much water.
I'm getting frustrated with all these aquifers, so I headed out in the morning. Had to get out of my boat because the river ended, so I got all my stuff and just started walking.
Into the wild blue yonder. Into the wild blue yonder. Into the wild blue yonder. Hey, this is pretty nice.
As delusion was setting in, I didn't have much time left. But I think I just found what I was looking for.
For a fringing aquifer. Oh man, big cave. Big cave. Cool. Screw it, I'm gonna live here.
So I'm setting up shop in the cave. I'm going down the winding paths and like setting up torches, making sure there's no monsters in there, getting the place secure, you know. So once I do that, I just walk out of the cave and I see,
Ooh, village.
so I go over to the village and I look around there, get the stuff from the village and also the adjacent ruined portal. Well, night falls while I'm still in the village, so I gotta go. I have to sleep. There's no way I'm crossing the void of darkness back to that cave, knowing, not knowing what could be out there. So I sleep in this guy's house, kick him out of his own bed.
Oh, okay. Don't go anywhere.
Look at that thing right there. You see that? That's a clay golem. There's no iron golems. There's no iron farm in this version of the game, okay? Sorry, everybody. Sorry, it's hard. Sorry you have to work for your iron. Modern Minecraft optimizers might be sad to hear that I don't return to this village at any point during this video. I don't trade with any villagers. I know it's like OP and everything, but that's why I don't do it. I don't like it. It's a self-imposed rule. If I'm gonna trade with villagers, I'm gonna have to find a random, wild, zombified villager and cure it. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, I might just make every single village abandoned in the game from here on out. Just so I can make my self-imposed rule and just make it an everybody-imposed rule. Okay? So I got back to the cave base and took care of the resident spider infestation.
Stay there. Think about what you've done. Jeez, you're fast.
Once they were dead, I got my vegetables and went down to the river to start my farm.
Not bad. Vegetables are good for you.
Crops in this game, they only grow, like I mentioned in the intro, they only grow during specific seasons. And also, they take like 5 times longer to grow. It's insane. So, you gotta use the plant them in like alternating rows trick that's actually coded into the base game. I don't know why. And that speeds it up. I don't know exactly, I don't remember. I don't even know if it's real, I just heard someone say it in a video. So, I guess go look it up, because I don't know if that's real or not. Night falls as I'm finishing up my farming, so I go back to the base to do some crafting. I put together all of the iron nuggets that I found, and it made 5 iron ingots, which was exactly the amount that I wanted, actually.
Oh, perfect.
Because putting iron ore into a regular furnace will only give you 3 nuggets instead of an ingot. But if you put the ore into a blast furnace, it'll give you an ingot. So 5 is exactly the number that you need to make a blast furnace. So I started making a blast furnace. A cool trick in this one is you can break coal down into little 8 coal nuggets, and they smelt 1 item each, and I think that's great. Put that in the real game.
Excuse me, what? Did I just heat up this stuff? What?
Since it's nighttime and I don't have a bed, the safest thing to do is go underground. So I went down to the other smaller cave bit and started digging down.
Oh my god, finally.
I got as much iron and copper as I could stand, and then I went back up, hoping the sun was up, and it was. And then I got started on the wall. And the wall was not actually that intense, it was just kind of a small curvature thing that blocked off the entrances to the cave. But it worked, it was secure, and exactly what I wanted.
Walk through here, and the mobs don't know that they can. Because people are smart, and mob are dumb.
And that took all friggin' day. So, at nighttime, I went back into the cave, into the mine, and did more digging. At one point I broke into a cave and decided it was time to do some spelunking. After a couple minutes of spelunkering, I happened upon some kind of underground structure.
Oh. There's... Oh, seeds. Seeds. A bed. Okay. Good.
I really wanted those candles more than anything because you don't have to relight candles. They'll stay on. And also the bed was nice. I didn't have to make it. I didn't have any sheep, so that saved me like 10 minutes of looking for sheep, I guess. I mined a couple more ores and then decided to go back up and deposit my treasures. Time jumps a bit because I just didn't record part of it. But the first thing I did in this new segment was make a woodcutter, which is essentially the wood version of the stone cutter. And it lets you be really efficient with wood. This also needs to be in the game. Put this in the game, Mo Yang, please. And then use the woodcutter to make a little platform for my bed. Well, now is probably a good time to talk about sleep. In vanilla, you can just sleep every night and there's no problem to it. Like, here comes the hard part of the game. Skip it every time. There's no reason to not sleep. When you sleep in harder than hardcore, in the morning you wake up and you lose a bunch of hunger and you have the hunger debuff. So you gotta eat a bunch of food to make up for the time that you slept. And also you gotta think about, you're skipping time in which certain crops can grow. Like, you've only got so many days of spring, so if you sleep through a big chunk of spring, then you're losing out on the time that you could be growing carrots. So it's this double consideration. You gotta think before you sleep, okay? You gotta think about it. So I spent the morning just doing my usual stuff, chopping wood, clearing out the skeletons, and then I thought, why not get some cows? I could drink milk in the morning, clear the hunger effect, and I wouldn't have to eat so much food all the time. I made a little pen on the inside of the wall to house my cows. So I went out and started luring one.
Giddy on up, cow.
I had a little accident with the first one.
Oh! Why did that happen?
Don't worry though, there's a second one right nearby, so it's not that big of a problem.
Hello, don't pay attention to what just happened. Ignore the blood stain. The clearly cow blood stain. Ah, there you go.
You know, while I'm at it, I might as well get some sheep too. I mean, why not?
Sheep.
Wool is useful too.
Come on, you guys, you know how gates work. You're kidding me. Oh, now you come in.
One of the things you could do with a wool, other than like make wool stuff, is you can use them on a cutting board and break them down back into string. And string is useful because you can make bandages with them. And bandages are useful because they stop you from bleeding and give you a little bit of regen. So wool into bandages is it's chef's kiss. So now that I've got my bandages, I'm feeling really confident about going back into the cave, make myself an iron pick, because this time we are going to get diamonds. And I'm back in the cave. I'm getting some ores, fighting some mobs, the regular stuff. And then I see a little something.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I know what that is.
But my luck had not run out yet. I found another diamond ore. And then I spent a little more time getting other ores and such. And then I ran into this thing.
Gone. Oh god, what the f***?
Anyway, after that debacle, I went back up to the base, drop off my stuff. I planted some glow lichen around that I had collected. Hopefully that would keep the place light enough if the torches went out. In the morning, I had a little run-in with a creeper,
Oh god, okay, that was really dangerous. Don't do that again.
and then went down to the farm to check on the crops.
Are these done?
When I got back to the base, I crafted myself a lantern. You can wear lanterns in this one, and it'll be a portable light source. And a helmet.
Cool.
An observant viewer might notice that when I mined the ores underground, I didn't exactly get redstone or diamonds or lapis. I got some other stuff, because in this mod pack, the way you get the actual resource from the ore is you get this kind of rough stuff out, and then you gotta refine them. And the way you refine them is on a grindstone. There's the regular grindstone that you get in vanilla, and there's also the diamond grindstone, which you need to make to get raw diamonds and refine those into regular diamonds, which you can use. So I put these new diamonds to work and made myself an enchanting table. I also put a little extra work into the wall, make a little walkway on top so I can stand on it, look across my land, look out for interlopers, that kind of thing. I spend quite a bit of time trying to make it look nice. I lost a lot of worlds just kind of building things that looked nice. It's really hard for me not to make a base that looks a little bit nice. So I have to do this, okay? It's important to me.
That'll be it for today.
Next up on the to-do list, I made a couple more chests and stuck them underneath the bed platform. I'm sure I'm going to need more at some point, but that's a problem for a different time. I started moving things over manually, and then I remembered something amazing. Look at that. You can pick up chests? Oh my god. Mojang. Mojang. Monjang. Next thing I did, added a staircase to the mine. It's always nice to not have to jump back up. Next up, I'm making mulch. Now you can use mulch and plant your farm crops in it, and it speeds up their growth. It's gonna take some setting up time, but in the long haul, it's gonna be super worth it. One of the ingredients I need to make mulch is straw. You get straw by cutting down grass with a knife. So I grab my flint knife off of my cutting board and I start slicing. In addition to the straw, we need bone meal and wood bark. So the blocks that we made isn't actually the mulch. Or actually, wait a second, it's called rich soil.
What do we do with compost?
Anyway, to get the soil, the rich soil, you have to decompose the compost first. And you can do that just by placing it out. It's kind of like aging copper. But you can speed up the decomposition process with adjacent water and by planting mushrooms on top of it. So I get a little circle going of the compost around some water, put some mushrooms on it, and now we just wait.
Cool.
Next crap I need to do is a calendar. The calendar tells me how many days I have left in each season. So I start that by getting some paper, and you can make paper with tree bark. So I start scraping some wood on the cutting board to get tree bark. So I make the calendar with a clock and paper. I don't have anything to put it on yet, so I'm just going to stick it into the chest for now. And then comes my next craft, a diamond sword. I decided I was going to enchant it, even though I don't really have a setup yet. I got plenty of XP, and I can grind off the enchantments at any time, so might as well. Enchanting is cool in this one. Got a few extra enchantments. The enchantment table, you can spend a couple levels to re-roll. So I just picked this random level 3 and got this.
Knockback. Okay. Not the best one. But we'll take it.
I needed more protein in my diet. So I gotta start actually farming the animals for meat. So I went outside the wall and made a little pen. I was gonna put more animals in. And then I just didn't put animals in it. I don't know why. I think I got distracted. I put a cruddy enchantment on my bow, and then I decided to go underground. Got a few ores, came back out, grinded them up, went to bed. And in the morning, I saw, hey, the compost was done, and I noticed somebody had gotten themselves trapped in the animal pen. I couldn't leave the pig in there all by himself, so I got another friend for him. And then they had a baby. And now the compost is done, it's time to plant some crops in there. I didn't plant them all because, if you can see, mushrooms on it will actually grow into big colonies of mushrooms and you'll get a bunch of mushrooms. So I left the mushrooms there to finish growing, but I filled the most of it with onions and carrots. And then for some reason I planted bamboo all around the wall. I just wanted more bamboo, I guess. I don't know why I did it like this.
For cows. Aww. I guess that's a good signal for me to go to bed.
The next real life day, I started thinking about how am I going to get more iron, and it's kind of, you already know the answer, so it means I gotta go mining again. But before I get a chance to go down there, there's an intruder that needs to be dealt with.
You're gonna enter my home? I'm gonna shoot you, but then I realize you're not even worth the arrow. Oh, shoot, I hit my cow. I'm sorry, cow. Please don't die. Oh god, he's bleeding out. Here's food. Oh, he died.
Well, now that there's extra room in the pen, I guess we'll breed the sheep.
Hello there.
So now I'm going down into the mine to actually get started. And then I get to the bottom of the staircase, where the cave is, and I start carving out a room to act as sort of a mining station where I can branch out from. So I spent some time digging that out. I decorate it a smidgen.
This is functionality first.
And then I just leave. I don't actually mine anything. Why? So instead, I guess we're going on a boat trip down the river to collect plants. And on this trip, I get some more carrots, some sugarcane, spruce trees. I also get some sweet berries and salmon berries.
Salmon berries.
The sun is setting and I am rowing as fast as I can, but I make it home safe and sound by the light of my lantern.
I'll go ahead and plant my berries.
And now is the time where I actually start mining again.
Let's do a mining montage.
So I break into another cave, and this is actually a pretty good one because there's iron.
Iron.
So I'm going through the cave, I'm actually getting some pretty good stuff. More iron, some gold, even got more diamonds. Oh, but I'm battling mobs the entire time.
Double kill.
Ah! Shoot me.
Killing spree.
After slaying a dirty skeleton, I get this message.
Oh no! Uh-oh. I have completely neglected to prepare for that.
Now that is an indicator that I have been killing a lot of undead mobs. And I don't want to keep doing that and then trigger something that I'm anticipating. So I leave the cave. But I'm good because I've got the iron I wanted and I can go back up, smelt it up, and then make myself iron armor, finally.
Served me well gold armor, but it's time to really get serious.
In the morning, I'm reviewing all the different kinds of foods that I can make, and I'm really craving better food in the game. I'm tired of eating one carrot at a time. I need to make some kind of soup or something. Now, when I said earlier in the video that I didn't return to the village, I meant it more like I didn't interact with the villagers ever again, you know? Because I did go back to the village, and I stole a potato.
It's got taters. That kind of looks like a tater. Yep, I got potatoes. Hey! I haven't done an achievement yet. That's mine! Take it.
I stole 3, actually.
Give me.
But that's all I do there. I swear. I don't do anything else in the village. I actually walk down to the beach, where I find beetroot and beetroot seeds and cabbage in seeds.
Yes.
There's also these cantaloupes here. Can't say no to cantaloupes. And while I'm already on the beach, might as well grab some sand in case I need some glass later. I don't know if I use this or not, but I got it if I need it. When I get back, I feed the sheep, I feed the pigs, I harvest bamboo, and then I started doing a little landscaping on the outside of the base, so I could start farming out there, and it's not so treacherous. So I get all that set up, and then I start farming, so I can get those potatoes in the ground.
Wondering, why don't you just use bone meal and get a bunch of potatoes? Because bone meal got nerfed.
Yes, you heard that right. Bone meal got nerfed. It's not very good. It does work sometimes, but it takes way more to grow a plant than it usually does. So, it only really works if you have a lot of bone meal. And right now I don't really have a lot. So I'm not going to use it on the potatoes. If you can't tell, I've been kind of scatterbrained this entire time I've been playing, so I decided I gotta write some stuff down, get my goals out, so that I can actually get stuff done. So I put up a bunch of signs on the wall with different activities that I can do. And this way I'm gonna keep track of the things that I need to do.
I have melons I need to grow. Wheat are both summer crops. Oops, clear and area. Hold on. Oops, that's not a feature yet.
Remembering back to that spooky message we got in the cave about the drums, I decided I need to power up as strong as I can be, at least, with bad enchantments and iron armor. So I enchant up all my armor is what I'm saying.
Okay. Alright. I think I'm geared up.
So I go up to my wall of things to do, and I see cows and chickens. Sorry, I got a bubble in my throat. Cows and chickens. I go and make a couple pens on the outside of the base. I put wheat in one hand, and I put seeds in the other, and I go off into the wilderness to find the animals.
Come on, guys, come on. Come on, you guys, you can do it. I know you can do it. Look at this guy, what is he doing?
So I got the cows to start, pretty good. And then I went and got 2 chickens straight after. I went and tended to the sheep for a bit, and then I decided that the front of the base outside the wall, it needs to be flat for maximum safety. So nothing can climb over the wall or jump or anything. I gotta flatten it out. So I went and I did some of that. Until the sun started going down, then I went back inside the wall. I have been cutting out every single time I've had to go and relight the torches. It's been like 6 or 7 times now. It's insane how often I have to do this. I'm getting upset about it, but I did it to myself. I put it in the mod pack, so I can't be upset. And you know, it's nighttime again, so you know what that means. It's mining time! So I went back down into the mine, to the second cave, and I set up a mining station there too. And then against my better judgment, knowing what was coming, I went into the cave and I battled mobs.
Oh boy. Oh, hi guys.
For several minutes.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill-tacular, zombie killing spree.
It wasn't all foolishness though, because I got tons of iron, I got more diamonds. It was very fruitful. Okay.
More diamonds? Oh, baby. Right. So slimy. How silly of me. You ass. Whoa! It's the twins. What are you doing? Attack the enemies. You're on hardcore. I'm not scared of slimes.
So after that very successful mining expedition, I went back up and I had a stack plus extra of iron and a couple diamonds, some lapis. I was overflowing with goodies. So I smelted up all my iron, I refined my diamonds and my redstone and my lapis. And then I went to tend to the sheep, get some wool. And then I noticed a little straggler zombie came in. Nothing I couldn't handle. But what I was not expecting was that the death of this lone zombie would be the last grain of sand to fall from the hourglass, counting down to my doom. His death would summon the drums of war. The undead army had arrived to exact vengeance upon me for slaying so many of their kin, and I waited for their advancement, for their attack to begin. And it kind of just didn't happen. The zombies and skeletons just didn't come into my base. Well, maybe a couple of them came in, but the siege wasn't happening. I've gotten to this point in a few of my other playthroughs, and usually it's like waves of them coming at you over and over again. It's kind of like a raid, like a pillager raid. it turned into like 15 minutes of me looking for these guys. Some of them I find pretty easily. They're like back in the cave a little bit. Some of them are wandering around in the hill on the outside of the base. And I'm still on wave 1. I'm making no progress. But I can't find them all. And eventually it just, the game's like, okay, here they are. They highlighted them. They give them that glowing buff so that I can see where they are. Because I'm not very good at zombie hide and seek.
Ooh, get reflected in this web.
So I finally complete wave 1 after I have to dig through the entire mountain to get the like a hidden cave on the inside of the hill. And then wave 2 starts, and still no siege. So I use this time to cut up some cantaloupe slices. And wave 2 takes just as long as wave 1, so the game eventually decides to highlight them for me, so I go out and fight them. So I finally get to wave 3, and then I see...
Tank? Excuse me?
But I find a clump of enemies crowded up in the caves connected to my base, and I think that's the tank.
Tank? Looks like there's a big skeleton. I mean, I have no idea what you do, but I'm glad you're stuck in here and not out here. Hi.
What's up?
You're cute. Whoa. Kidding. Very dangerous, very scary.
Thank goodness that's out of the way. But wave 3 takes me so long that it eventually stops raining.
Oh my god, the weather cleared.
Which allows me to go out the base and find the last skeleton and be victorious. Haha!
Oh, I won.
I am the undead slayer. Oh.
Victory.
Cool. I got a loot bag for beating the army. So I opened that up and I got something cool.
Soul jar. 15% movement, 3 armor, 3... What? Wow, that's pretty insane.
And the next day, after all the excitement is done, we're getting back to farming. Oh yeah. First thing I do is I move the pigs over to a new pen by the other animals.
You don't go in there, you're dead. No, stay. Okay, thank you.
One of the pigs escapes, but we made an example of him.
Oh, I got a ham.
I went back down to the original farm by the river to grab all the crops that were there, and then move them back up to the new farm that I made closer to the base. And also there was this really strong squid here. Don't they have like 3 hearts? How did he live that?
Live that one, huh? You're pretty cool.
I went back in and made a diamond shovel, enchanted it with efficiency 1, and then went back to flattening the outside. So scoop up a bunch of dirt, get rid of the old pig pen, and then head back in when it starts to get dark. Thanks to the undead army, now I've got tons of bones and subsequently bone meal.
What do you mean?
So I used bone meal on the glow lichen in my base. And you're thinking, what? Why? Because I've added a recipe in the game that lets you combine glow lichen to make glowstone dust. And glowstone dust lets you make permanent torches. Okay, so you know where I'm going with this. I make torches with the glow lichen.
Torches? Got it. Little torches.
So I put my torches about outside the base, inside, get things looking nice and bright.
Pretty cool too.
And then I get back to flattening. And that actually gets done.
Yeah, alright, nice and clear.
But I'm not quite done flattening just yet. There is another section just
area,
off to the other side of the base. It's got a big hole in it. Since I got a bunch of dirt now, I'm going to fill in that hole and make it flat.
Dirt you have to. Dirt is finite in the world of Minecraft. You can't create it, you can only go and collect it.
I don't make it completely flat. I do kind of leave some curvature to it. I want to keep it natural and aesthetically pleasing, so I think I did a decent job at that. Might actually fill it in some more looking at it now. So the point of all this flattening is actually to get ready to plant lots of farms there. Because summer is just around the corner. There's only like 2 days left. So I gotta get ready to plant my wheat. Also, I gotta find some stuff out in the world that I can also plant. Tomato seeds are a thing. I am feeling very powerful since my victory against the undead. And I decide, you know, it's time to start exploring. I'm gonna go out in the world and see what's out there, you know? So I grab my trusty chest boat and then I head off in a direction that is yet uncharted. I reach the shore of an unknown sea and I hop in my boat ready for another adventure. Unfortunately, I can't tell the story of this adventure right now because it's not yet over. I'm still playing this. It's still in progress. I'm also still making tweaks to the mod pack, coming up with new ways to make it more fun, more challenging, and more hardcore. If you're interested in seeing a part 2, let me know by leaving a comment, hitting the thumbs up button, subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next summer.
Oh, wait a minute. I see it. That's rice. Assessed.